Assuming I made the deadline, today is International Women's Day. Women are a very important part of life and they deserve to be celebrated. So today, I decided to make a list of my top 10 favorite strong women in video games.
With the rule of only one character per franchise.
There are so many strong women in gaming that I can't possibly name them all. What we're about to see today is only a small fraction, but they're my personal favorites, so let's freaking go! Kicking off this list is Lysithea von Ordelia from Fire Emblem Three Houses. Lysithea has always been my favorite character in this game due to how relatable she is. You see, she is the youngest student at the Garreg Mach Monastery, and as a result, people very often tend to treat her like a child. Which is where her very iconic catchphrase, "I'm not a child," comes from. The reason this is so relatable to me is because I very often find myself being the youngest and also the smallest person among various groups of people. And even though I'm already 26 years old, sadly enough, just like Lysithea, I very often get treated like a child, and it can definitely get frustrating at times when people don't take you seriously because of a younger age. Despite her age though, Lysithea is the strongest unit in the whole game, usually one-shotting almost every single enemy and getting critical hits ridiculously often. Yes, that's right, Lysithea. Kill them! Kill them all!
You lost that one.
Another thing that makes Lysithea such a strong girl is her background story. Now, I am gonna have to spoil her social links in order to explain, but let's be real here, if you still haven't played Three Houses yet after all these years, you are probably never going to. However, I'm not going to spoil anything related to the main story, so at least you don't have to worry about that. When Lysithea was little, a mysterious group of people were constantly conducting experiments on her, as well as on many other children. All of the children died eventually by the hands of the experiments, except for Lysithea. One day, Lysithea woke up with white hair, and the mysterious figures were very pleased with that, as the fact that she now had white hair meant that their experiment finally succeeded. They then thankfully disappeared from Lysithea's life, but it left Lysithea scarred for life, both mentally and physically. The experiment that was conducted on her greatly shortened her lifespan, and now Lysithea lives a very anxious life where she could drop dead at any given moment. This is also the reason why Lysithea is such an overachiever. She wants to prove herself and feel useful as much as possible, knowing fully well that her life is much shorter than that of most other people. Thankfully though, there is one way to save her. If you play the game as male Violet and you choose to marry her at the end of the game, the two of them find a cure off screen and Lysithea gets both her normal lifespan and her natural hair color back. This does not happen if Lysithea marries someone else. If she marries someone else, she will die at a very young age, cutting the relationship short. In other words, you should marry Lysithea on every single playthrough of this game. If you don't, I will come to your house and kill you. Now if you'll excuse me, I have a tea party date with Lysithea. She sure as heck loves her sweets.
Another thing we have in common.
On number 9, I have who is probably the first lady of video games, Princess Peach. Okay, actually the character literally named Lady is probably the first lady of video games, but she's not on this list, okay? But seriously, Peach is probably the most iconic character that you will see on this list. Sure, some of you may think she's just a very boring damsel in distress, and yes, that is sadly enough is true for many Mario games. However, Peach doesn't get kidnapped all that often anymore these days, usually helping Mario save the day from Bowser as a playable character, which is so freaking awesome. In addition, she was also a party member in 1996 Super Mario RPG, and even in 2007's Super Paper Mario, which is my personal favorite Mario game. Actually, Paper Peach is my favorite version of Peach, because she's always a badass that tries to help Mario, even when she's in captivity. Like, she's straight up not afraid to get her hands dirty, and that is so freaking awesome. Although Paper Peach does sadly enough run into some strange weirdos along the way sometimes. Actually, no, not sometimes, she runs into weirdos like, all the time. Peach has also starred in two of her own games, Super Princess Peach and Princess Peach Showtime. I've never had the chance to play Super Princess Peach sadly enough, but in this game Peach has to save Mario for once, which is really cool. But it is a little weird how this entire game revolves around mood swings. Also, the ending cutscene is just a sex joke about a vibrator.
Somewhere, someone might possibly be using it right now. What? Your dad got mad at you the other day, you say? What?
What?
Your mom's been laughing happily a lot? What? Maybe, just maybe, the Vibe Scepter is hidden away in your house somewhere. Was that a sex thing?
I'm gonna look for your Vibe Scepter.
Your mom's been really happy lately?
Is that...
Maybe the Vibe Scepter is hidden?
Dude, I wanna...
Did that whole game just lead to a sex joke?
Thankfully, Princess Peach Showtime is a better game. In this game, Peach learns how to act. Yes, that's right, she's an actress now. She can be a sword fighter, a ninja, a mermaid, a figure skater, and even a phantom thief. Well, anyway, Peach can do anything, and she's awesome. She can even solve arguments with a cup of tea. What's better than a superhero? That's right, a female superhero. Gravity Rush is such an amazing game, and a big reason why this game is so amazing is because it is elevated by its main character, Cat. What's not to love about her? She's homeless, so she lives in the sewers. She likes to cosplay. She can sing. Am I forgetting something? Oh yeah!
She can control gravity!
Yeah, Cat is a superhero who can shift gravity. She protects the world with her powers from these enemies called the Navy. I'm not even sure if I pronounced that correctly. Just look at how badass she is while fighting them. Although admittedly, she can also be a bit clumsy sometimes. Relatable. Another thing that I love so much about her character is just how cheerful, energetic, optimistic and upbeat she is. Even when she's having a bad day, she's always trying to turn it into something positive. And she's always willing to help people too, even if they don't always appreciate the help because, man, some people are just ungrateful. Oh, what's that, Cat? You're out of money? Well, look at that. Cat has already found multiple side jobs as a maid, a waitress, and even the military? Yeah, Cat can do anything. But the really amazing thing about Cat is that she is actually a queen. And when she says she wants to protect all of her people, she really means all of her people. You see, the people who live far below Cat's homeland were about to get wiped out and Cat's kingdom was gonna ignore them because it's not their problem. Cat refused to ignore it and wanted to help them, but then this creepy little kid tried to usurp the throne from her and he almost succeeded too. Cat then fell down to the world below that she wanted to save so badly with amnesia. She didn't know who she was, what her name was, where her gravity powers came from, nothing. But she remembered one thing, the instinct to protect the people of Hexville. And when she finally got her memory back, she bitch slapped the crap out of that annoying little usurper boy, whose name I still can't remember because that's just how stupid he is. Cat, you're awesome. There are many female characters from the Kingdom Hearts franchise that deserve to be on this list. Kairi, Aqua, Xion, but only one of them can make it on this list, and I think I slightly prefer Naminé over the others. Naminé is a nobody who was born from Sora and Kairi. And no, I'm not going to explain what a nobody is. All I can say is, it's not as convoluted as the internet claims it is. Just like with Roxas, who's my favorite male character in the series, Naminé was born from both Sora and Kairi's hearts when Sora stabbed himself in Kingdom Hearts 1 in order to save Kairi. Basically making Naminé Sora and Kairi's love child, I guess? Even though Sora and Kairi are still children themselves. God, I'm really making this sound all weird now, aren't I? Well anyway, Naminé is Kairi's nobody. For some strange reason, Naminé has the power to alter people's memories. She got taken in by Organization 13 and they forced her to alter Sora's memories. Naminé was basically a very lonely feeling newborn with no friends, and as such, she replaced Sora's memories of Kairi with fake memories of herself. Basically shipping herself with Sora, which is kinda messed up considering Sora is basically her dad if you really think about it. And it gets even more messed up when the organization creates a perfect replica of Sora's best friend Riku, and Naminé also has to give fake memories of herself to him too. Yeah, Naminé was forced to do some pretty messed up stuff, and believe me, both Sora and Replica Riku had their fair share of mental breakdowns because of it. Wait, why did I put Naminé on this list again? Oh yeah, she of course very quickly regrets what she did, and of course she was forced by the organization too, so it was not entirely her fault. And the moment organization member Axel gives her the opportunity to escape and help Sora, she of course decides to make everything right ASAP. She helps Sora get his original memories back by putting him to sleep in this machine. Sora will forget about Naminé, but he does promise Naminé that he will meet her again someday so he can thank her. Sadly enough, over 2 decades have passed since Chain of Memories came out, and Sora still hasn't thanked her yet. I am not kidding. It is so bad and frustrating how long Square Enix and Disney have delayed the simple thank you. Naminé is such a sweet and loving character that carries a lot of trauma with her too. She deserves to finally get her thank you that was promised to her. So, let's all thank her ourselves today. Thank you, Naminé.
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 Good day, Lady Naminé. I don't know what you did, but I want to thank you anyway.
Thank you, Naminé.
Thank you, Naminé!
Thank you, Naminé.
Thank you, Naminé.
Thank you, Naminé!
Thank you anyway.
Thank you, Naminé. Once again, just like with Kingdom Hearts, the Persona series has so many amazing female characters that deserve to be on this list, and choosing which one was gonna appear in this video was super difficult. Should I pick Violet? Or Rise? Maybe Yukari or Aegis? Choosing a favorite female Persona character has always been very difficult for me. But eventually, I decided to go for Ann Takamaki, aka Banter, from Persona 5. Ann is such a strong person. First things first, even though she is Japanese, she is also a quarter American, so she looks a little bit different from other girls. As a result, many girls are very jealous and even a little bit racist towards her. Thankfully though, this doesn't bother Ann much, and she even embraces her different looks by doing some modeling work in her free time. A lot of Japanese girls who are quarter American or quarter European etc. are models in real life actually. It's really cool. During the opening hours of Persona 5, Ann gets sexually harassed by her gym teacher and ex-Olympic champion Kamoshida, who is also a very violent man by the way. Ann refuses to sleep with him, so he threatens her by abusing her one and only friend who has always accepted her for who she is, Shiho. Shiho then jumps off the school roof and Ann vows to take her revenge. She then becomes a phantom thief and together with her new friends succeeds in giving Kamoshida a change of heart. This whole ordeal has taught Ann to embrace herself and her body without giving a crap of what other people think. It's a really great character arc, and even though I'm a guy, I'm sure that almost every single woman in the world can relate to her story, which is why I ultimately chose her for this video. Also, I love how curvy her body is. Whee! It is no secret that my favorite Danganronpa character is Chiaki Nanami. I think Aaron Hansen from Game Grumps describes it best.
Dude, she's the ultimate gamer! I love her.
Alright.
Yes. She's got a little fucking like Galaga pin or whatever.
Oh yeah.
That's right, she's a gamer girl and that's why I like her. Next! Of course, that's not the only reason why she's my favorite character. Like, she's just genuinely really sweet. Danganronpa 2 takes place inside a simulation. Every single character that was put into the simulation was brainwashed by Junko and Ushima, who all turned them into the evil remnants of despair. This simulation is supposed to turn the remnants of despair back into their normal, sweet, usual selves. In the Danganronpa 3 prequel anime, these characters had a classmate named Chiaki Nanami. Chiaki was a pillar and a rock for her classmates, and she always succeeded in cheering them up and filling them with hope. Sadly enough, she got brutally killed by Junko right in front of her classmates' eyes, while they were also getting brainwashed. Years later, when the remnants of despair are put into the simulation that is supposed to turn them normal again, an AI is born from their memories of Chiaki, resulting in the Chiaki we interact with in Danganronpa 2. This AI version of Chiaki is supposed to help them turn into their normal selves again within the simulation by, once again, just like the real Chiaki who died, acting as a pillar or rock for her friends as they are forced to participate in a digital killing game. Sadly enough, she gets executed in the second to last chapter, which really made me sad. You know what they say, never get too attached to Danganronpa characters because they could drop dead at any moment. I knew this beforehand and yet I still failed. She was just too likable. I was so sad by her death that after I finished the game, I immediately bought this expensive figure of her to remember her by. And a couple of years later, an official plushie of her was released and I bought that too. With that said though, Danganronpa 2 is getting a remake this year with a brand new alternate story. Basically, it's a remake and a brand new game at the same time. Let's just hope that she doesn't die this time. I'm not sure if I could handle my favorite character getting murdered a third time. So, you know how I said that this list was gonna have only one character per franchise? Yeah, I lied. When it comes to Final Fantasy VII, I've always had a hard time choosing between Tifa and Aerith. What can I say? Both of them are my favorite female FF7 characters. So, I decided to let the two of them share a spot on this list together. They're like two sides of the same coin, you just can't have one without the other. Tifa is Cloud's calm and kind childhood friend who is always there to support him. Whereas Aerith is a more recent friend of Cloud who is very energetic and cheerful. A bit of a deranged lunatic, I even dare say, but that's what we all love about her. She's amazing at getting Cloud out of his comfort zone. And when Tifa and Aerith finally meet, they become great friends right away, always supporting each other and having fun through thick and thin. And their backstories, oh my god, their backstories. They're so good. I'm currently in the middle of reading the book Traces of Two Pasts, and man, the trials and tribulations Tifa and Aerith had to go through throughout their life. I mean, even without reading the book and simply playing the games, you already get plenty of backstory about their pasts that prove they are strong characters. But getting all this additional background story somehow makes them even stronger. It's way too much to talk about in this video, but trust me when I say that Tifa and Aerith, with everything they had to go through during their lives, are some of the strongest women in all of video games. Almost makes me feel bad that they're only at number 4, but I'm just very biased when it comes to the top 3. Also, another reason why I made Tifa and Aerith share this spot on this list is because on social media I very often see Tifa fans and Aerith fans fight with each other and I just don't get it. Tifa and Aerith are both amazing and strong characters who love each other very much. If the two of them were real people and they saw all this toxic fighting over who is the better character, they'd probably feel ashamed of their fans and they'd never want to associate with them. Also, why argue with random strangers on the internet about fictional characters in the first place?
So petty.
Well anyway, Tifa has a message for these toxic fans. Take it away, Tifa.
Be nice. Be nice.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Kicking off the top 3, I have Crash Bandicoot's little sister, Coco Bandicoot. Earlier in this video, I said that Princess Peach is probably the first lady of video games, but as someone who grew up with the PlayStation 1, Coco was always the first lady of video games in my eyes. Coco is great because she is a genius, always tinkering with some device or even inventing something. She's very capable in helping Crash on his adventures, basically acting as the Luigi of the series. But she can do plenty of stuff that Crash can't too, such as riding a jet ski, piloting a small spaceship, and she's the only one allowed to ride on her best friend Burrow's back. Also, correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't she build the entire warp room from Crash Bandicoot to Wrath of Cortex all by herself? And in their garage too? Now that is impressive. You know, I think they should let Coco be the star of her own game someday, like Luigi's Mansion and Princess Peach Showtime. Let's see, what kind of game could Coco Bandicoot star in? I know! Dance Dance Revolution featuring Coco Bandicoot! I am a massive fan of the Xeno series, and just like with Kingdom Hearts and Persona, there are way too many amazing strong women in these games that deserve to be on this list. Xion, Fiora, Lyn, Pyra, Mitra, Nia, Mio, Uni. I wish I could add all of them on this list, I really do. But sadly enough, I can only pick one character from this series, and my favorite Xeno character will always be Malia Antiqua. Malia's story is so tragic that we used to have a hashtag for her titled Poor Malia. When we first see Malia in Xenoblade 1, her loyal guards sacrifice themselves for her and die. She then almost gets assassinated by her half-sister who she doesn't even know yet. And it was Malia's stepmother who ordered the assassination, by the way. She then becomes the crown princess of her race, the High Antia, which is nice and all, until shortly after her father gets killed right in front of her. And apparently, Malia always thought that her father didn't love her because she was his daughter, but because she was next in line for the throne. But as he's dying, her father explains to her with his dying words that he did always love her as his daughter, and it's because of his deep love for her that he wanted her to be next in line for the throne. Malia then goes on a journey of revenge with the rest of the party, but apparently Malia falls in love with Shulk at some point, and right after she falls in love with him, his dead girlfriend shows up revived from the dead, because hashtag poor Malia, am I right? And if things couldn't get any worse for her, really late into the game, almost her entire race gets turned into a Teletia, including her brother, who's like the nicest guy in the entire game. So now she's not only lost all of her family, but also almost all of her people who she was supposed to lead. Oh, and we have to kill many of them, including her brother. Why the fuck is this universe so obsessed with making Malia's life so miserable? To make things even worse, after becoming really good friends with Fiora, another strong character that deserved a spot on this list, her self-esteem takes a massive nosedive. Thankfully though, 10 years after Xenoblade 1 came out, Malia got her own game where she is the main character, and she is able to save her city and a few survivors, and she even becomes friends with her half-sister. Aw, isn't that sweet? Malia thankfully makes a reappearance in Xenoblade 3, and this time she's not the Empress of the High Antia anymore, no. She's the queen of the entire Xenoblade 1 world, which is now merged with the Xenoblade 2 world. The Xeno series has a tradition where in almost every single game, at least one character gets crucified. I spent the entirety of Xenoblade 3 wondering who was gonna get crucified this time. I was genuinely looking forward to a crucifix. And then, mere moments before the final boss fight of the game, there she was. My favorite character was the one who was crucified all along. For thousands of years apparently, while the other queen was just peacefully sleeping. Hashtag poor Malia. It is no secret that I am a huge fan of the Legend of Zelda franchise, so of course on number 1 I have Zelda herself. Which version of her, you ask? Well, all of them of course. Just like Link, Zelda has many different incarnations and each of them brings something unique to the table. For example, in Ocarina of Time, she can turn into a male ninja named Sheik. In Wind Waker, she is a pirate named Tetra. In Breath of the Wild, she is a scholar, yes a scholar, and in the sequel Tears of the Kingdom, she transforms into a freaking dragon. Like, holy crap! In Skyward Sword, she is not a princess for once, she is just a normal schoolgirl who turns out to be the reincarnation of the goddess Halia. Skyward Sword Zelda is my favorite version of Zelda, by the way, because she is not a princess. It's a cool change of pace. In Spirit Tracks, Zelda just dies at the beginning of the game, and in order to get her body back, her spirit becomes Link's companion throughout this entire journey, and she even helps him by taking control over phantoms. And recently, Zelda finally became the star of her own game in Echoes of Wisdom, where she is a priestess destined to save the entire world from rifts that consume everything. It sure as heck took them long enough to finally give us a Zelda game with Zelda herself as the protagonist. But yeah, Zelda is awesome. I love every single version of her, even the CDI one.
Thanks.
No matter how many times she is reborn, she is always there to help Link save Hyrule from evil. I genuinely can't think of any stronger female character in video games than her. So yeah, that was my top 10 favorite strongest women in video games. Do you have your own top 10 favorite strongest women in video games? Let me know in the comment section. Now if you'll excuse me, I have some Spanish classes to attend to. Hey, can you say suscribite? Great! Hey, can you say suscribite? Wishing you love. Repeat after us. Wishing you love. Wishing you love, health, nee. Kom niet uit. Wie zijn kaas van straat? Ja, maar mijn kaas! Mijn kaas! Waarom lig je boven in alles? Ik wil het allemaal. Opnieuw. Wishing you...